driving on the highway while watching a program on his smartphone.
This is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. We begin tonight with that scary scene at the Cincinnati Zoo. A 4-year-old boy plunging into the gorilla enclosure. The images disturbing. Dramatic video of the boy in the clutches of a 400-pound silverback gorilla. Zoo workers forced to shoot the gorilla to save the boy. And at the zoo today, a growing memorial for that animal, while protesters are outraged over the use of lethal force instead of a tranquilizer. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez on the zoo defending its actions.
Oh my God! Everybody back up.
Tonight, a young boy recovering after coming face to face with a 400-pound gorilla. For more than 10 minutes, onlookers, including the boy's mother, watch in horror after authorities say the 4-year-old crawled through a barrier at the Cincinnati Zoo's gorilla exhibit Saturday, making his way through the bushes and plunging 10 feet into the moat below.
A child has fallen into the gorilla cage.
You can see the gorilla's left arm make contact with the boy seated in that shallow water. The boy scoots back. The gorilla seemingly lifts him up, then sweeps him across the water.
The gorilla rushed the boy, but did not hit the boy. He almost was guarding the boy, was protecting him.
With the animal holding the boy between his legs, a zoo worker takes aim, shooting and killing the endangered 17-year-old silverback gorilla named Harambe. Rescuers rushing in, pulling the boy to safety.
And while the rest of the zoo is open today, the gorilla exhibit is closed. People have been coming by here all day, leaving flowers in honor of Harambe.
Today, protesters outside of the zoo questioning why the worker didn't instead use a tranquilizer.
In an agitated situation, which the male was, it may take quite a while for a tranquilizer to take effect.
The boy's family releasing a statement saying, "We extend our heartfelt thanks for the quick action by the Cincinnati Zoo staff. We know that this was a very difficult decision for them."
The family also saying the boy is now home from the hospital and, in their words, doing just fine. Tom.
So glad that boy's okay. All right, thank you, Marcy. Now to breaking news in Houston, the deadly shooting rampage that forced a neighborhood on lockdown for hours. 8 people shot, at least 2 killed, including the suspect and a victim. 2 officers among the wounded. ABC's Philip Mena on the end of a day-long ordeal and how it all started.
A quiet holiday weekend shattered when gunfire erupts in an upscale Houston neighborhood.
We got one more down at Tosca and Gateway. Tosca and Gateway, we got 2 people down.
10:15 a.m. 2 gunmen armed with AR-15 rifles. Police say at least one of them opened fire in the streets, blowing out car windows, igniting a gas station.
Do we believe it's just one, or do we think we have 2 shooters?
Residents told to stay in their homes as a gun battle raged outside.
Get in your house! Please, they'll come in those outside windows.
Video shot from inside a nearby church where congregants huddled together for safety. The first officer on the scene shot several times. SWAT teams and a police chopper move in, gunmen firing on that chopper, even hitting homes.
A female was shot in the leg.
One woman shot in her car, another driver killed. Nicholas Ladalias, a Boy Scout giving first aid to a wounded officer.
So I asked him to remove his vest, and once he had done that, I wrapped up the wound on either side of his leg.
8 shot in all, bullets coming just inches from this man.
See where the bullet came through that door? And then it went through that seat.
SWAT officers kill one suspect and wound another.
Right now, police are still searching for a motive. Because one of the suspects is alive and in the hospital, investigators are hoping he may be able to provide them with some answers. Tom?
Philip Mena from Houston tonight. Philip, thank you. And we have breaking developments coming in at this hour from Florida. A shark attack reported off Neptune Beach in the northeast section of the state. A boy bitten on the leg in shallow water. Almost 100 shark attacks last year, and the number expected to grow. ABC's Adi Roy on beachgoers coming to the rescue.
Terrifying moments at a popular Florida beach this holiday weekend. A boy attacked by a shark. Police say the middle school-aged boy was waist deep in water at Neptune Beach when the 5 to 6 foot shark bit his right leg. This photo snapped as paramedics rushed the victim to the hospital. Officials say the boy has at least 2 severe lacerations down to the bone. The incident comes as experts predict a hike in shark attacks since last year. There were a record 98 attacks in 2015, including 6 fatalities. Look at this. Just 2 weeks ago in Boca Raton, Florida, a 2-foot nurse shark still attached to this woman's arm. Tonight, the boy in the most recent attack recovering. The beach still open for the holiday weekend. Aditi Roy, ABC News, San Francisco.
Let's turn now to that deadly weather on this Memorial Day weekend. Record rain across Texas and the plains. Dozens rescued after their cars were surrounded by water. Take a look at that. Several people dead or missing. To the east, tropical depression Bonnie losing steam as it spins over South Carolina. Lifeguards warning swimmers about dangerous rip currents. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is in South Carolina tonight.
Tonight, extreme weather pummeling northern Texas. No relief in Texas after almost 20 inches of rain forced evacuations, driving families from their homes near Houston. The swollen Bravos River, seen here from space, now expected to crest over 53 feet.
I didn't know it was going to come up this fast.
At least 5 dead and 3 still missing, including an 11-year-old boy in Kansas. Search teams recovering the body of Darren Mitchell, a National Guardsman who posted this chilling photo on Facebook just minutes before his truck was swept away.
It disappeared. Once it flipped, you didn't see tires, truck, nothing. It just tumbled over.
Out east, it was Tropical Storm Bonnie lashing the coast. 8 inches of rain submerging cars and making for a dangerous drive along I-95. The biggest worry now, rip currents from Florida to North Carolina, where one swimmer was rescued, but another is still missing.
If you allow yourself to float out of it, then you'll be able to take that longshore current to the side and swim in.
Here, you can see just how quickly a swimmer can get pulled from shore.
It looks calm right now.
Looks can be deceiving.
It may look like a good day to be out on the water, but it is still dangerous out there. As for all that rain, it is now moving north, dampening a lot of holiday plans along the way. Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, Eva, thank you. Let's get right to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. Rob, so much going on with the weather. Can you fill us in?
Well, that storm down south, what's left of Bonnie, some of that moisture is going to stream into the northeast, and for the first 2 days here, it's been very, very summer-like, so it'll knock down some of those temperatures. Take a look at where the center of this is, inland from Charleston by about 25 miles. It's not moving much, so we look for this to continue to sit there and spin up showers and storms. Flooding could be an issue there, and there you see the moisture streaming up the I-95 corridor by tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., New York to Boston. Pretty good pulse of rain. Some drying in the afternoon, but not totally clearing really till Tuesday. The rest of the country on this Memorial Day, dry in the Great Lakes, some storms across the plains, including the flood zone, and should be dry out there on the West Coast. For those of you in and out of the storm zone, have a safe and respectful Memorial Day. Tom?
Rob, same to you. Thanks so much. Back here at home, down to the race for President. Donald Trump using the Memorial Day weekend to make his appeal to America's veterans. Trump today speaking in Washington, speaking to that Rolling Thunder motorcycle group. This is one of the nation's most famous decorated war vets saying he owes them an apology. ABC's Devin Dwyer with the Trump campaign in Washington.
Tonight, rolling thunder rumbling through the nation's capital.
I will say, no matter where I go, rolling thunder. Look at all these bikers. Do we love the bikers? Yes.
Trump, who got 5 deferments during the Vietnam War, paying tribute to those Americans who did serve.
We're going to take care of our veterans. We just raised almost $6 million for the vets.
But Trump's appearance at an event honoring prisoners of war was a stark contrast with his famous comments about former POW Senator John McCain.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
Those words still not sitting well with decorated veteran Bob Dole, the only former Republican nominee to endorse Trump.
I'm going to try to get Trump to issue an apology.
But many members of the veteran community we met here said they give Trump a pass, and what they like most about Trump is that he speaks his mind.
I like the fact that Mr. Trump speaks the truth, that the chips fall where they may.
Trump now calls McCain a good man, but in an interview earlier this month said he has no regrets about his original comments.
I like John McCain, and John McCain is a hero. There are many people that like what I said. You know, after I said that, my poll numbers went up 7 points.
And tonight here, Donald Trump said he'll hold a press conference on Tuesday to finally reveal the names of the veterans groups that received money he raised at that fundraiser back in January. Tom?
Devin Dwyer for us tonight. Devin, thank you. Not a stolen history in Virginia, a Civil War battlefield looted by thieves. Scavengers accused of digging dozens of holes, searching for artifacts where more than 1,000 Americans died fighting. ABC's Karen Travers on the investigation.
Tonight, this sacred ground, a crime scene after a brazen looting. The Civil War battlefield in Virginia, often used to honor the sacrifice made by the soldiers who died there, now desecrated.
We had a report of finding a number of holes in the battlefield.
Investigators saying thieves likely used metal detectors and shovels to dig up Civil War relics in the dark of night.
Belt buckles, buttons, possibly guns, ammunition.
Visitors paying their respects this Memorial Day weekend were shocked.
I was very upset and heartbroken.
The National Park Service telling ABC News money is the big motivator. On eBay, we found these Civil War relics for sale, said to be recovered in Central Virginia, and these rubber overshoes found at Gettysburg. But for some, the theft at Petersburg is personal.
They don't want to see the items that belong to their own ancestors stolen, and it's just disrespectful.
It's a federal crime to steal from parks like Petersburg. Violators can face up to $20,000 in fines and 2 years in prison. Tom?
Karen, thank you. Overseas tonight in the fight against ISIS, Iraqi forces completing their troop buildup around Fallujah, gearing up for an all-out battle to retake the city. U-2 spy planes tracking ISIS in the Middle East, while the terror group relies mostly on pickup trucks to get around. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz with an exclusive look at the war being waged from the skies.
Coming in for a landing at an airbase on the Arabian Peninsula, the famed U-2 spy plane. We are in the chase car, speeding alongside at close to 100 miles per hour. The driver talking the pilot down safely, since he has limited visibility in this aircraft when landing. Returning from a 12-hour mission, 70,000 feet above the war against ISIS. So high that pilots must wear pressure suits similar to astronauts.
Flying the U-2 is crazy because you're the highest person in the world besides the people that are on the space station.
So you have the best surveillance possible, right?
Exactly.
We are allowed on a mission in an AWACS over Iraq and Syria, those huge airborne radar systems coordinating the warplanes. We've been orbiting over Iraq for about 2.5 hours now, very near the Syrian border. When you're on station, that's the busiest time. You're looking out for aircraft, you're looking out for enemy, you pass on whatever.
Yes, ma'am, and funneling all of that information back to the ground commanders so that they can decide the flow of battle.
And once the targets are located, drones and fighter jets are unleashed.
And targets range from anything from banks to oil infrastructure to actual enemies on the ground.
With the Iraqis now trying to free Fallujah, those airstrikes will almost certainly intensify. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, the Arabian Peninsula.
Back here at home into one of the most famous races in the world, the 100th running of the Indy 500. The winner, rookie Alexander Rossi, crossing the finish line on fumes. ABC's Lindsay Zarniak is in Indianapolis tonight. Lindsay.
Tom, a rookie driver won the Indianapolis 500. That is so rare, it hasn't happened in 15 years.
The winner of the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, Alexander Rossi.
24-year-old Alexander Rossi came out of nowhere. A year ago, he was a part-time driver in a different racing series in Europe. The virtually unknown Rossi made himself a household name in front of a record crowd of 350,000. The drama started early. Defending champion Juan Pablo Montoya losing control on lap 64. He was okay, but his day was done before it could ever get going. The rest of the race tight throughout, but while the rest of the field had to make pit stops for fuel, Rossi took a massive gamble. He knew he didn't have enough, but managed to conserve what he needed to coast across the finish line on fumes and win his first Indy 500. Rossi has only been driving Indy cars for 3 months. Now he's won the Indianapolis 500. Tom?
Gamble paid off. All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. Still ahead on World News, driven to distraction. A bus driver supposed to be watching the road, but look closely. He appears to be watching something else. How one scared passenger took action. And later, a new way to really see one of the 7 wonders of the world.